Hello and welcome to coverage of Grand Prix Providence. I'm Marshall Sutcliffe in the booth with Brian David Marshall. And we are just underway here in round number 4. And what are these guys playing here, BD?
So Ari Lax is playing Dragon Lord Jeskai.
Ooh, that sounds sweet.
So yeah, it's a Jeskai deck. It's Soulfire Grandmaster, Ojutai's Command, Dragon Lord Ojutai. Pretty sweet deck.
Command?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
he's playing for the long game with the Soulfire Grandmaster.
Well, I'll tell you what. Christian Calcano is no stranger to the long game. He is also playing a deck that is looking to push the game as long as possible. It's blue-black control as you see him crack a polluted Delta and probably reach for something like a Bile Blight or maybe an ultimate price here.
Yeah, there's a Soulfire Grandmaster is the play from Ari Lax. And he's happy to just trade these pretty early, and then he'll just get them to come back late. He'll dig through time. He'll find a Soulfire Grandmaster to stoke the flames, and then start casting it with buyback.
So he'll get this thing back with Ojutai summons, you mean?
Ojutai Command, yeah.
Command, I mean?
Yeah.
Ojutai summons. Not quite as good.
Anticipate that would be like Christian Calcano's invitational card if they still had those.
They don't have those anymore? They made one for me.
So there's Urborg Tomb of Yawgmoth.
We need a
second Soulfire
Wow, this is
Grandmaster.
bold here from Ari Lax.
Yeah.
Christian Calcano does have Bile Blight in his deck,
Yeah, and there's a Dissolve.
but it looks like Ari Lax doesn't mind at all. And he says, all right, well, if you had Bile Blight, you probably would have used it, so I'll run out the second one, and that's going to earn it a Dissolve. Mystic Monastery follow-up play for Lax. Christian Calcano does what he does, which is play a land and say go.
Yeah, it's what you're going to see him do quite a bit.
That's right. Meanwhile, the Soulfire Grandmaster hits the red zone again, and he does love and anticipate. He's only playing 2 of them, so that is, in this case, the other.
So he's all out.
He's done.
The coast is clear.
Yeah, and he's also, not playing Ojutai, so yeah, that was the last anticipate we'll see out of this game at least. Calcano peels his card for the turn, sitting at 17 life. Ari's life total is 24, though that rarely matters against this.
And it's it just keeps climbing with this deck.
It shouldn't matter. For the most part,
so there you see
Calcano's deck's win condition is
Ojutai's
Ashiok,
Command.
Nice Mirror Weaver.
So he's
I
going
suppose
to draw a card and
get
attempt
back
to
his
return
Soulfire.
the Soulfire Grandmaster.
This is nice.
It's like, what are you going to do?
Yeah, this is really nice. This is real pressure here. Yeah, Calcano's really giving this a good think. He says, "Yeah, you got it."
He doesn't want to tap his mana. He's like, Ari really wants me to tap my mana at the end of my turn.
Yeah,
I don't want to do that.
I don't want to do that, but Ari's like, "Hey, this works out for me too. I draw a card and get a creature onto the battlefield, ready to rumble, drop you down to 13, and play a morph." Now, what is that?
That is a
I know
Stratus
it,
Dancer.
it knew it. It's a Stratus Dancer.
It's a Stratus Dancer, yeah.
Wow.
I was talking to Brad Nelson about the deck, and what happens is a lot of times they play Dragon Lord Ojutai in this deck.
Okay.
So they'll get a Dragon Lord Ojutai down, and then maybe like a turn later they just won't attack, and then they'll play a Stratus Dancer, then attack.
Oh, that's nasty. And just have that effective counter, that negate sitting there ready to go. I like that. This deck seems pretty cool. Dragon Lord Jeskai for Ari Lax.
Ooh, dig through time.
A big dig through time. You can see why Calcano used his Dissipate on the Stratus Dancer before. He's got important spells to resolve.
So I see a Crux of Fate.
Crux looks like it should be good here. If Ari had any way to interact, he would have done it with the dig through time, one would assume. As Calcano can find a sweeper like Crux or just multiple spot removal spells and make it hard for Ari.
You said he has Bile Blight in his deck, right?
Yeah, oh yeah. He's running 3 of those. The main card, though, the main thing to keep in mind when you're thinking about a deck like what Calcano's playing here is this is a Perilous Fault deck. He's running 4.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so, you know, if you want to know how this deck operates, it's Perilous Fault. He's also got 4 Ashiok Nightmare Weaver in the main, and those act as his main win condition here, too.
So just the 1 Crux of Fate.
So 4 Perilous Fault, 1 Crux. He's also got an Ugin the Spirit Dragon that can help clean up any messes that may be left behind. But this is a
so he did find a
Bile
Bile Blight. Bile Blight's away the 2 Soulfire Grandmasters.
And
oh, wow.
Gets to add Ashiok to the battlefield as well. And this is really, you know, what this deck is designed to do is keep the board clear and then play an Ashiok Nightmare Weaver into an empty board. So a huge turn there for Calcano. That was nice.
Calcano's at 11, so
Yeah,
this
he
is a
has
deck that's got
taken some
Stoke
beats.
the Flames
That's
and
a
Mantis
great point.
Riders. And
Yeah, it can pile on the damage.
okay, so Goblin Rabble Master.
He's going to take the window opening here, and I think he's going to attack Christian.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what
he did.
does.
Does Calc want a free Stratus Dancer?
Yep.
Yeah, he does. He's going to get his value out of it here, though. He has passed a turn back to Ari. At some point, Ari's going to try to end his main phase,
I
and
think
Christian's
it's
going to have to
Mantis
decide.
Rider.
Wow. Yeah, this is a lot of heat. You weren't kidding, BDM. He's going to go to combat. That actually happens, too?
That
Wow.
just resolved.
Yeah, Calcano has the Stratus Dancer back because it can trade for the Rabble Master, which looks like it's going to hold it back. Though Ari actually was considering attacking with the Rabble Master just to push through more damage, which is an interesting tell for Calcano. Because if he's that concerned about getting a little bit more damage in, you
Right,
know,
then you
Ari
start
could
thinking
easily
about
have
Stoke the Flames, yeah.
And in this case, it actually makes sense because if you look at it, if Ari had made that play, he would only get in for 5, leaving Christian at 5. You got to figure if he could get him down to 4, he probably would have done that.
Right.
So Calcano's going to be hyper aware of the possibility of Stoke the Flames in hand for Ari Lax here, and he's going to Bile Blight away 2 of the tokens.
Yeah,
And he's going to chump
chumps.
block. Yeah, he is conserving his life total because I think he's going to go for a Crux here. If he took the Crux, I think he'll go for it.
Now gets a Soulfire Grandmaster.
Gains a couple of life. Oh, it's not Crux.
Ugin the Spirit Dragon.
And he's going to go ahead and just -3 to blow up the board here. You know, he's a little sad that he has to get rid of Ashiok, but getting that 2 for 1 is great. Is this a dig through time now for Ari?
Yes,
on
it
end step?
is.
Wow. Man, Ari's deck is high powered.
So you see a Lightning Strike.
Yeah, we've seen this. Remember when the Jeskai deck first came out at the Pro Tour, which looks like this is a similar shell. Basically, it was running Mantis Riders and Goblin Rabble Masters along with Dig Through Time and a whole bunch of burn spells. And looks like a lot what Ari's done here, except for he's also added Dragon Lord Ojitide in the mix as well. But we've seen that once this deck gets you in burn range, it's very good at finding it. Those are all exiled cards for Calcano.
Ari starts playing pretty quickly here. There's a Rabble Master.
And
Lightning Strike.
Yep.
The Ugin.
And
get
attack
in for
Ugin
1.
with Goblin.
Yeah.
So that kills Ugin the Spirit Dragon and leaves Ari in an advantageous position of having a Rabble Master plus a token. So Christian does have to deal with both of these threats. Everything matters against this blue-black deck.
Yeah, there's a
Hero's
Hero's
Downfall
Downfall.
is going to take down the Rabble Master, but the Goblin token remains and immediately attacks, and there's a very annoying morph. It's going to be a Stratus Dancer again, I'm assuming here, and I'm sure Calcano's going to assume that too, but that's very annoying. Ari's going to attack for 3, shift the turn back, get 2 of the life back thanks to the fountain, pass the turn back. And we are rocking and rolling here on Ari Lax's side of the
there's
table.
a Mantis Rider.
And that's 6 damage to drop Calcano down to 4, and he's got Stoke the Flames, shows it to him. And
Wow.
that's going to do it. Wow. So Ari Lax really kind of puts a beating on Christian Calcano in game 1 there.
Interesting to watch Ari play that too, because when I was talking to the players about this deck, the deck Ari's playing does tend to play a long game, and obviously Christian Calcano is not capable of not playing a long game with his deck.
That's right.
So
he has no other gear.
Clearly aware of, like, I have a chance to close this game out very quickly. I'm going to play very quickly, and we're going to move on to the next game because this could go 3,
Yep.
and time could be a factor.
No, that's a good point. All right, let's jump over to our side table
Two
here.
pretty good matches in the feature match area right now.
Yeah. We have 2 Northeasterners going at it in our main match, but these gentlemen have traveled much further.
Yeah,
Valentin
Willie
Mackel,
Adel from Brazil.
From Brazil, and Valentin's from Austria, so he's come a long way himself. They actually came out to go to GP Charlotte last weekend and then come up here to Providence so they could just do the weekend thing. Even though Copenhagen's not that far from Austria, it's
right.
a relatively short flight for Valentin, or even a train ride if you wanted. But yeah, but he decided, no, I'm just going to go back-to-back weekends in the States. Ooh.
Scoop in the face
Wow,
of Dragon Lord Atarka.
So that Dragon Lord Atarka destroyed 3 creatures, 8 lands, and the game. So it looks like Willie Adel finds himself up a game back there.
Yeah, interesting. Valentin Mackel playing the same deck. Sorry, apparently Valentin and I think Patrick Dickman
Correct.
Were the guys who were really spurring people on to play this deck.
That's correct.
Patrick saw the
chance
deck
with
on
Patrick.
Magic Online and was like, I think this deck's really good.
Yep.
And I know Brad Nelson said, you know what, I'm going to show you why it's not that good. Let's sit down at my kitchen table, because they were all staying at Brad's place. So let's sit down at my kitchen table, and I will beat you up with some other decks to show you why this deck isn't good. Guess what Brad's playing this weekend?
Yeah, I know. Keenly aware, yes. And
it's like, this deck is pretty good.
Yeah, it's actually, wait a minute, maybe this is just the best deck. See that Calcano, interesting. Normally, he inexplicably wears a Boston Red Sox hat.
Yeah.
And now we're deep in the heart of New England. He's rocking the Mets hat today.
Yeah. Yeah. Just,
I asked him about
psychological
that hat.
tactics.
I asked him about it. I said, now, hold on a minute. You're a New Yorker. Why do you wear this hat? You know what he told me? I like the way it looks. He's not a
Calcano is also the most frustrating New York sports fan of all time, because he'll be like, yeah, I love the Knicks, but I'm also a big fan of Kevin Garnett.
Oh,
this is when Garnett was a
You can't
Celtic.
do that. You can't do that.
He's like, oh man, yeah, go Giants. Oh man, do I love Tom Brady? Like, what is wrong with you?
Calcano. But he is a Mets fan.
He is, yes.
He's wearing the Mets hat. You include him in your secret emails or whatever.
Oh yeah,
Mets fans
yeah.
do
The Mets
to each
draft
other.
club.
Yeah, there you go.
We would have a Knicks draft club, but we get no first picks, so we killed that.
Cute. That's cute. I like that.
Here's our getting there. All the on-camera matches are shuffling up, so there's no magic for us to show you here.
Oh, I like this. A different angle of the shuffling. Thank you, Rashad. Bring in the heat. Check out that deck box. Came from the GP.
Ooh,
Oh, yeah.
that's really nice.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm interested.
You grabbed me one while you were there?
No, I wasn't at that GP.
Oh, you
Charlotte.
weren't? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, Star City made that box, and for the GP that they put on as the tournament organizer.
Yeah.
They always do sweet stuff. There was a Brainstorm one. Now it's a Noble Hierarch. All right, let's get game 2 underway between these two gentlemen. We'll see if we've got keepable hands as they both draw one card at a time. Looks a little... No, looks pretty good for Ari Lax over there. And they've both kept, so this is great. Dismal Backwater kicks things off for Calcano. Ari, no turn 1 play for him.
I don't think he has any turn 1 plays other than a Wild Slash.
Yeah. That'd be pretty aggressive. Turn 1, Mountain Wild / you go. I like that.
You'd be like,
send a message.
That could go either two ways. That happens to you. That goes either two ways. You're like, wow, I'm playing against someone who has no idea what they're doing. And then you're like, or I'm dead.
Dead, yes. Or I'm very dead. All right.
Speaking of dead,
Here's
Ari
Mantis
just puts
Rider.
Mantis Rider right in the graveyard.
Didn't even
like,
touch the battlefield.
He's like, I'm not even going to let this touch the table.
No,
Here we go.
Just immediately moved over. And that is a threat that Calcano has to deal with at some point, so he's going to dissolve it here to start things off. Crack a polluted delta for his 4th land. Why is he cracking that now? What are you getting, Calcano? It's an island. It's 4 mana. Is it a vault? Ding.
It is.
All right, so Perilous Vault hits the battlefield here. And again, this is what Calcano, this is the game plan, right? It's keep threats away so that I can untap and have a vault active. And now, well, he doesn't quite have a vault active because he's played a 2nd Dismal Backwater. He's still in a very good position. Now it's on Ari to A, stop drawing lands, and B, start committing a threat to the battlefield.
I don't know if Ari actually wants to stop drawing lands. He's got a Master of the Unseen in his hand, which he brought in out of the sideboard.
Yeah, but that just gets completely blanked by the Perilous Vault. He's going to have to convince Calcano to crack that Perilous Vault before he can play. And now things have gotten much worse, as here is Ashiok Nightmare Weaver hitting the battlefield for Calcano, really putting the pressure on Ari to do something here.
Yeah, just Ojutai commands to draw a card and gain 4 life.
Yeah, that is one of the modes of that card that is nice, is that you can fire it off without any targets, but that is not what you want to be doing.
So there's Master of the Unseen. This is a card that won Christian Calcano, his most recent GP, in a limited.
That's right.
But part of the, I guess, anti-control sideboard package for the guys playing in this deck. All right, tick up Ashiok. And Ari makes a manifest at the end of the turn.
There's a dig through time off the top for Ari, so that's a nice way to reload. It doesn't look particularly enticing at the moment, as Calcano has all of his mana available, so he's got 3 cards in hand as well.
Here's a Rabble Master.
All right, so Ari Lax has said, okay, let's use that vault, Christian. This is going to be pretty enticing for Calcano.
Sends him reaching for a new die to take it down.
He's going to get at least another activation here off of Ashiok, though. He's willing to let Ashiok fall down a bit. And he's just going to pass the turn back again. So good patience here from Calcano. And make another manifest with my Master of the Sea. Now this looks bad for Calcano. We know how good Mastery is, but that reset button's just sitting there, and he can fire it off whenever he feels like it. Will take down his Ashiok Nightmare Weaver as well, which is annoying for Calcano, but certainly better than the alternative.
It looks like he's splitting up his attacks. So, yeah. So 4's coming at you, and 6 coming at Ashiok. All right.
And Calcano says sure. And here you're going to see a little bit of the power of the Perilous Vault here, is that RA just really can't do anything on the end step here, which lets Calcano crack the vault, clear the board away.
He's thinking about maybe resolving something here.
All right, and it all goes away. Calc draws his card for the turn.
Yeah, also it's interesting because it doesn't give Lex any fodder for his dig through time, because those cards are exiled.
Yeah, I think he's got enough anyway. I mean, he can certainly cast it.
Oh, he can certainly cast it.
But you're right, it wasn't free. And I think he's going to cast one right now. leaving himself just the Mantis Rider behind.
May I?
Calc doesn't want him to do this, but he also doesn't necessarily want him to get into a big fight with him at this point. I think if Calc has an answer to it, he's going to have to use it here. Letting your opponent resolve digs through time is that is a slippery slope. It
Yeah, and
usually ends in you
ultimately he
losing.
decided to negate it, but here comes another Master of the Unseen.
Does he have another negate? He doesn't.
Which is what Ari really wanted to resolve there. I think he was
It's
expecting the dig to get countered.
Yeah, it's just that dig is the tastiest bait possible. You know, Calcano countering that might be more important. All right, he's got his own dig through time, but he's going to tap out for it. So the Master of the Unseen, of course, does resolve, and now Calcano's got to use this dig through time to find an answer for it. You can see our feature match area is already filling up with spectators. That's pretty common at these GPs. People love to watch great players play. And you get a great feel for it when you're standing right there.
All right, just checking the remove from game piles. And there's Tassiger.
Tassiger is just okay here, but the Master of the Unseen is still a long-term issue here for Calcano. Calc's at 20. He's got plenty of time, but Ari just basically doesn't need to cast any actual spells from this point as long as Master
and
is
he's
on
got
the
mana
board.
to put up 2 guys a turn here.
Does he? Oh, yeah. He's even got a mana to spare on that. So this will snowball quickly.
And if he hits a Soulfire Grandmaster, then things can get pretty gruesome, because then you get to start buying back a burn spell. You know, you start to
How about a dig?
or a dig. Well, that's the dream.
Okay.
I asked Brad if he'd ever bought back a dig, and he's like, not yet.
Not yet.
Not
Today's
yet.
the day.
Yeah.
All right. Well, in the meantime,
Oh,
Calcano has found somewhat of an answer. The problem is that the -2 here, which is I'm assuming what Ugin's going to do, does not take care of the manifests, as they are colorless, but it will get rid of Master of the Unseen, which of course is the root of the problem. But if you look, I mean, Ari certainly got his value. He's got 3 2/2s out of the deal, and maybe even some of them can be turned face up. So, yeah, it's very interesting to see if Christian Calcano can clean up the remnants here. It looks like Ari's going to rumble with the squad
Yes,
and even just give away one of them
yeah.
to get Ugin down to 1. I'm assuming he's got a burn spell of some sort here to finish off Ugin. Oh, he's got a Soulfire Grandmaster. All right, well, Ugin's at 1. That Soulfire Grandmaster could die pretty easily here. Calcano doesn't have any direction to go but up when it comes to Ugin, so... Interesting. He's going to pick one of the morphs, and it happened to be a mountain. So that may have backfired a little bit on Calcano, but he's not really worried about anything else, so it makes sense. He's going to leave Tassiger the Golden Fane back, which he can activate. Oh, here's Ojutai's command.
With the buyback.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah, you're right. Awkward. Wow, that is pretty good.
Looks like he's
Silumgar's
gonna-
command? It is a Silumgar's command.
Silumgar's
Wow.
command counters Ojutai's command.
Wow, I guess we figured out which one of those is better. Put him in the arena. Silumgar slithers out alone. All right. That was pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Kill your Grandmaster and counter
Yeah.
your thing? Yeah, that's not bad. Oh,
Except
no.
Gonna Ojutai's command, draw a card, and get my Soulfire Grandmaster back.
All right, so loop potentially re-enabled here if Ari has another spell of that category. And he doesn't.
Is
His last card. And it's
Goblin Rabble Master.
All right, well. looks like we're going to combat, but Calcano has something to say about it. First, he's going to play Hero's Downfall to take down the Rabble Master before combat, therefore
Yeah, no
Rabble.
token.
Meanwhile, Ugin the Spirit Dragon still
Yeah.
alive.
Just breathing fire on things.
Tassiger's done a noble job of just sitting there and
Yeah, just
being a blocker.
playing defense.
yeah,
You don't have to take any shots.
yeah, don't even cross half court. Oh,
Oh,
no.
no. Oh, just scoops to the Jasons and Ginobili.
Wow. Yeah, that was a huge play for Calcano, though the game wasn't over yet. And Ari said, I've seen enough. There's a very low percent chance
Yeah.
they come back from this, and on top of it, the
Yeah,
clock
you're
could be
gonna
a
draw, you
consideration.
draw 3 cards, you have Tassiger, and, you know, you've gotten maximum value out of your Spirit Dragon.
That's right. And it's still there.
Yeah, and it's right, and it's just
He just
going
knows he
back
can't
up.
beat that card.
Yeah. Wow, Sillinger's command countering a bought back Ojutai's command.
Scratch that one off the bucket list for the
Yeah.
weekend. Did not expect to see that this
Yeah,
early.
and perfect, right? Like lines up so perfectly because the Sillinger's command also gets to kill the Soulfire Grandmaster that was
Yeah.
enabling the
Oh, yeah.
the sort of buyback ability.
Yeah, that was great. Silumgar's command seems really well matched up against the Dragon Lord Jeskai deck, too.
Taking a look at Calcano's list. Just one of those in the sideboard. Yeah, that was just a miser's card in the long sideboarded games.
He did it.
Yeah, just get an idea of what the lifestyle must be for these guys. You know, I think last week these guys are playing Modern.
Oh, yeah.
You know, now it's
Switching
just
gears
like, you know,
now.
just switch gears, figure out what standard decks you're going to play, you know, get some testing in, you know, something like, Ari Lax playing a deck. You know, not that it's a completely new deck, but just not a deck people have been playing,
No.
you know, very much in standard. You know, get some reps in, make some tune, you know, tune the cards, do all that kind of work, you know, and just completely, you know, get into a different, you know, subset of cards.
Yeah. Jeskai good stuff.
Yeah.
Now, for Calcano, he actually played in that TCG player event we talked about earlier as well.
Yeah.
And I think he played something quite similar to this. So
I mean,
it was just sort of returning. for
any
him.
given week, he has played something similar to this.
Confirmed.
He is Esper, Demir,
He is.
occasionally Azorius. He'll play blue-white's not outside his range, but that's about it.
But he wants to slow things down.
Yeah.
His first GP win was with blue-red, if I recall correctly.
That's true. Yeah. 3 Sulfur Falls.
Yeah. Now, what's the storyline coming out of it? He just couldn't find a fourth, right?
They couldn't
That's
find.
what
He
it
couldn't
was.
find a fourth.
Yeah.
He could find a fourth now
Yes, he could.
for winning the GP. So checking in on Valentin Mackel and Willie Adel. Those guys are going into Game 3 as well. Yeah, no idea how the Jeskai deck pairs up against Black-Green Constellation.
No idea.
I imagine that if the game goes long, that has to favor the Constellation deck.
I would think so. Let's jump back over to the main match.
Okay.
They started again.
All
They've
right.
been playing quite briskly over here, too. I'm
Both
curious
players
to see how
have
it
2
goes.
lands in play. So there's a window to fly in a Mantis Rider or land a Master of the NC.
That's good. That's sort of passive pressure right now. Ari's going to have another untapped land before he can start activating it, but then he can start activating it once per turn,
Doesn't break his Flooded Strand there.
keeping that pressure on Calcano.
2 Flooded Strands. Goes down to 18. see him getting his manifest token ready.
Oh, it's in the batter's box.
Yeah.
Intimidating Calcano.
Calcano. Yep, there's Calcano's fourth land. Plays a Temple of Deceit. And a 2-2. What did I get? What's my prize?
He hasn't looked yet. There we go. Well, his prize is attack you.
Looks like, what was that, a Plains?
I think it was a Plains.
Yeah, it gets Hero's Downfall. Pretty aggressive Hero's Downfall from Calcano there.
It was.
To kill a Manifest.
He also could have done it on end step if he wanted, and he risked it being a Stratus Dancer, which would have been awkward.
Oh yeah, that would have been super awkward.
Yeah.
It's a Radiant Fountain from Calcano. Breaks fetch land, activates his mastery, and says, cut me to something good to Calcano. Really hitting Stratus Dancers just
Could be great.
got to be the best here.
And Bioblight's going to take care of it now. Whoa!
How
How did he know?
He's like, well, I'm just going to kill them all. That's how.
He probably thought about it last turn, like, I should have just done that on end step, but now he does, and it was Dragonlord Ojutai. And you can see that Arilax has the mana to have manifested it, and at instant speed, especially if it's untapped, that can be brutal. So nice play there from Calcano, shoring up that little gap and taking care of the Dragonlord before it can get turned face up.
But Ari's got more of the same.
Oh, yeah.
And he's 2 lands away from double activations.
Wow, another Bioblight to kill it.
Bioblight gets a Disdainful Stroke.
Ari looked a little disappointed about that, but I don't think he could have been too bummed.
Ooh, gets the Scry here. Oh, it pushes it, so. Calcano's just doing his best Gandalf impersonation here.
What do you mean?
None shall pass. He's like you put something there, I'm killing it.
Yeah, he has. He has managed to mitigate every threat that Arilax has been able to play, and even follow up with a dig through time, which is going to get responded to by a dig through time as well from Ari. Now it's interesting. The door was open, and Ari decided to use it here. It'll be interesting to see if he can stop Christian's dig as well. That would be really
the
nice.
last card he hit was a Disdainful Stroke.
There you go. All right, looks like Ari's decided which 2 cards he wants.
And he is going to, he's going to Disdainful Stroke the dig through time.
He didn't make any show of where he got that disdainful stroke either. He set those 2
Oh,
cards down and picked
but
it
look
up.
at this. Calcano just untaps, plays Perilous Vault, says go.
Very calmly. Now this is kind of a fun dance because Ari gets to still activate his Master of the Unseen multiple times, though, and really just push the game to the point that Calcano's forced to use the Perilous Vault. Now, it is a good answer. It'll take care of all of it.
Oh, there's a Mantis Rider. Has another Mantis Rider in reserve here. Dig through time, full price.
Another dig. Ooh, this one's resolving, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ari just doesn't quite have the same level of firepower that Christian does when it comes to counterspell. So he was able to nab one of the dig through times with half of his.
Yeah,
dig-through time,
only
though.
2 dig through times in Ari's list.
Yeah.
Okay, so double activation of Mastery of the Unseen.
Yeah, this gets out of control quickly and really does force Calcano's hand. I mean, you look at the board state that he gets to deal with this Perilous Fault. He almost has no choice here. He's at 20 life, though, so 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He can afford to take one hit from it if he feels like that extra turn cycle is going to be worth it. It is a good amount of damage
He is holding
that he's
another
taking.
dig through time,
Interesting.
which he can only reduce the cost of by 2 by exiling his other 2 dig through times.
Not bad. Oh, Stratus Dancer hits the 3rd dig through time, though, for Calcano, and he's going to take 8 damage in this exchange here.
Wow.
That was a big swing. We talked about that Stratus Dancer earlier, BDM. It really came out to bite him here.
Calcano's at 13. He's starting to get within range of a book of matches.
Yeah, he is. So he's not going to be able to take another hit here without really being in range of a burn spell or 2. So he's going to have to pop this Perilous Vault.
Yeah, he doesn't have the luxury of being able to maybe pop it at the end of Ari's turn.
He would love that, because you can usually set up an empty board that way, but he can't this time, I think.
All right, cancel land. All right, adds another creature to the board. Yep, and that is gonna be enough to
Force
pop the vault.
Yeah.
But you see a full grip here for Arilax. So there's a Hordling Outburst.
Okay, so slowly rebuild the board again. Calcano still at 13.
And
Jeez.
another master, a blinding master.
No kidding, that one's gleaming, and it does resolve here too. You got to wonder if Christian just got another Perilous Fault at the ready.
He's got
No?
Ashiok.
Doesn't.
It resolves.
Shock hits a Mantis Rider. And it looks like Calcano's passed the turn back here.
Wow, makes a guy and stokes the flames at the end of the turn. Makes a guy, taps all 4 creatures to convoke Stoke the Flames. Stoke the Flames gets Silumgar scorned.
Command.
Oh, and it was a Rabble Master.
So Calcano, very nice. Takes care of a threat and conserves his life total with Silumgar's command there.
And here comes a Mantis Rider. Bzz. Yep, bzz, that's what they say. And who's he attacking?
I think he's attacking Calcano.
Yeah, he does. He's got Calcano down to 7 here with that attack.
Wow.
And that's the hand.
Jeez. So I guess just enough threats there for Arilax. He's able to keep the heat on and force a concession here. Calcano looks like a tough matchup for Calcano as Ari was able to really leverage his sideboard there.
Yeah, well, fought his way through a Perilous Vault, which is, I thought,
And
you know,
3
really
dig
impressive.
through times
Yeah,
went on the
Stratus-
stack that
Stratus
game
Dancer
too.
was huge.
That was huge. He also got to Disdainful Stroke, one of them. Only one actually resolved. So
All right, so now we pick up this match, which is Willie Adel playing Sidisi Whip against the same deck we just saw from Arilax. So I think we're seeing a bought back Lightning Strike here.
ooh.
So yeah, Lightning Strike, cast it, pay the ability on Soulfire Grandmaster, bring it back to my hand, do 3 to you, gain 3 myself with my lifelink spell.
Pretty sweet. Life totals seem heavily skewed here. Mackle's at 21. Adel
Ooh,
down
there's
to
a
5,
Torrent
but
elemental in play there for
yeah,
Willie Adel.
Yeah, that's the interesting part is that Willie on board looks like he's way ahead. But life totals are starting to get low, it looks like.
Yeah, well, I mean, Valentin can just cast that lightning strike twice next turn.
Can he?
Yeah, he cast it, buy it back, and then just cast it again.
And then kill him.
And yeah, that would be dead.
Wow. So Willie's got to find some way to deal with this.
All right, he's
Sagisi
casting.
Undead Vizier.
Yeah.
What do you get? Someone carry added down. And Willie, he's only got 3 mana here to work with, and he needs some way to interact. Removal
Marchant
spell.
of Asphodel.
Yeah, or just a removal spell to take down the Soulfire Grandmaster would be a good start. It still puts Willie at a virtual 2 thanks to the Lightning Strike in hand for Macklemore. If Willie doesn't know the rest of his hand, that could be the difference.
Oh, but also lets him he gains a life here.
Oh, speaking of gaining
there's
life.
your life gain.
Crunch. Gain 5.
Yep, tap your Soulfire Grandmaster as part of the Torrent Elemental's ability. And go to 11.
That's pretty nice.
Wow,
What
that
a great
was
swing. When your opponent's on the burn
Go
planet,
to 12,
you could
sorry.
gain 5 life in one swing.
That's 6.
And set up to gain it again next turn plus 4. You could gain 9.
When the Satyr Wayfinder starts swinging.
Yeah, with lifelink. Yeah, that was a big swing for Willie Adel. Whip of Erebos. One of the stronger cards a while back, and it's made a nice little comeback here in the hands of Willie.
I don't know if Willie was holding the 4th land to be able to play that whip, or he absolutely had to hit the land off the courser on top.
Interesting. Taking a look at Willie from Brazil, playing against Valentin Mackel from Austria. Two players from vastly different walks of life and parts of the world.
Okay.
Battling it out here in Providence.
So,
all right, this is where Willie Adel does a little fist pump and says he's firing off lightning strikes against my 4/6.
and then Anger of the Gods.
Okay, that's a little less exciting from Willie Adel's side of the board, but it does leave him with the Torrent Elemental still, as well as the Anger, or excuse me, the Courser. Now that should gain Valentin a lot of life.
A lot of life, yes.
Yeah. It did 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. Yeah, he jumps up to 33. Yeah.
Oh,
Wow,
there's
nice
Sidisi.
follow up here, and he hits a creature too. Yeah, this is all working out quite nicely.
He
for
can also
Willie.
whip a Wayfinder back into play here, which he does.
He does immediately.
Gets another zombie. Plays a land off the top of his deck.
Jeez.
Gains a life.
Wow, hitting on all cylinders here is Willie Adel, who's now up to 13. And he gets to attack for 5 here on top of that to put him to 18. Drop Valentin Mackel down to 28, but it really looks like he's taking control of this game. Valentin is going to need
The
some pretty
Wayfinder
special stuff.
Could have attacked there, right? Like
Yes, it gets haste.
yeah,
Did he
just
not
kinda-
attack with it?
Nope. All right, dig through time for Mackel.
Well, that's a nice start to a productive turn.
Looks like I see another Anger of the Gods.
How the heck does Mako come back from this? We came in and he looked like he was in reasonable shape, but now he's just getting wrecked. Here's an Anger of the Gods. I guess that's a good start.
Yeah, like it deals with the Sidisi.
And friends.
Yep. And now... Nope.
Still, though, 5 a turn. Meanwhile, Willie Adel's getting value from his Whip of Erebos and from his Courser of Crewfix and just sort of amounting such a huge
Here's Thoughtseize.
edge here. This is going to be, I suppose, a burn spell.
Ah! Extends the hand.
What happened there?
He thought he had blue to cast the Dig Through Time, and he didn't. He tapped his mana, and he just...
So he just conceded?
I guess he felt like he just...
Oh, he looks very disappointed with
Yeah.
himself. You can see
Yeah, it was just the... it was just the shame concession.
the shame concession.